Cowboys versus Eagles watch party? If the answer is yes to this, well then like it. If the answer is no, well just like it anyway. Let's get to 1,000 likes on this video. Cowboys versus Eagles watch party, Sunday Night Football, in what very well might be a must-win game for Jason Garrett and the Dallas Cowboys. Problem is for the Cowboys is they are dealing with several injury issues right now. The big three, Amari Cooper, Tyron Smith, and La'el Collins. Those are three critically important players. Your left tackle, your number one receiver, and the right tackle you just paid a decent amount of money to. So I want to know from you guys, which player is most important among these three? Is it La'el? Is it Amari? Is it Tyron? I think you can make arguments for all of them. Now, there are two tackles. Left tackle is more important, so I'm going to put Tyron on that one. The Cowboys' offense did drastically change when Amari Cooper came over from Oakland. I think those are my top three and top two. That's mostly what I'm seeing. A lot of Amaris, a lot of Tyrons. You can argue one way or the other. Against the Eagles, and I'm focusing on it this way, their secondary's bad. Their defensive line's pretty good. I think Tyron might carry just a little bit more important, but it's arguing, which one is higher, 99.9 or 99.8? Like, it's 99.9, but not by very much. Now, as for Cooper, he is dealing with a thigh bruise right now. He is going to try to, and will practice on Friday, to see what he can do, see if he can play. He couldn't actually walk very much on Monday. Now, not having Cooper against Philadelphia would no doubt hurt. That'd be a pretty big blow to the Cowboys. On the bright side, and Eagles fans know this, the secondary is horrid this year. They have been getting roasted by everybody they played. Even Kirk Cousins lit them up. The Cowboys, with or without Amari, should let Dak Prescott sling it. The other big problem here is, and we'll get to Randall Cobb in a minute too, he's also banged up right now. So you need a better game from Michael Gallup. More like the week 1, 2, 3 early season showings, less of the iffy performance against the New York Jets. On to the offensive line now. Tyron Smith. The early reports this week were not that positive for Tyron. And also La'el Collins, who we'll get to. However, today, Thursday, Tyron Smith did return to practice in a limited fashion. Did some individual work on the side, did get some drills in. That's a good sign. The other reports were Cowboys don't think Tyron or La'el is going to be able to go. And look, week 7, pretty close to must win. You're going to want to have all your players out there. If the Cowboys were 5-1, maybe they'd be more cautious. This is kind of a de facto playoff game for the Dallas Cowboys. They got to win it. They might try and rush Tyron and also La'el Collins back to action. Again, with Collins, those early week reports were not great. They were iffy at best. But much like Tyron, he was able to practice in a limited fashion on Thursday. Either way, I expect La'el Collins and Tyron Smith will be game time calls. We will know more, of course, after Friday's practice. If they can both get in another limited session and there isn't any type of regression or fallback, I think they'll end up being able to play. But it's a true questionable designation for Collins, Cooper, and Tyron Smith. Now, if Tyron and La'el Collins are unable to go, I assume it will be the same. Cam Fleming and Brandon Knight against the Jets, who don't have very much in terms of pass rush and edge talent. The interior is way better. Fleming and Knight did as well as they could have expected. The Eagles, though, a very different front. I hope that Tyron and Collins are able to be out there, but we'll see what happens going forward for the game. Now, we'll get to more injuries, but first, folks, we had a special guest stop by earlier today. Mick from Kashiyama is back on the Cowboys Report. Mick, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me again.
All right, you guys know the drill by now. Let's preview the other NFC East matchups. We begin with the Arizona Cardinals going on the road, Mick, to face the New York Giants. What are you expecting from this game?
Well, the Giants are coming in off of a brutal loss to the Patriots. 10 days recovery, but they've got Barkley getting in a full practice on Wednesday. So I'm going to have to take the Giants on this one. I'm going 31-27.
A high-scoring prediction here from Mick, as the Giants, that would keep them, in theory, assuming there's no ties in Cowboys news, which we'll get to in a minute, one game back of the NFC East lead. But do you believe in the Giants this year to actually make a run?
I'm gonna. You're putting me on the spot there a little bit. I'm gonna say yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna say yes.
I was gonna whisper say no.
Say no.
To make it better for the Cowboys fans.
No.
Okay, that's fine too. All right, again, folks, Mick here works at Kashiyama in Dallas. She got me fitted for my custom suit, and they're doing a little giveaway right there. You see their Instagram handle. It's at Kashiyama Tailors. If you follow them, you will be entered to get a chance for a free blazer. Oh, by the way, if you follow and DM them Cowboys on Instagram at Kashiyama Tailors, that actually gets you 2 entries into it. So again, Kashiyama Tailors on Instagram, just type it in, you'll find it there. If you follow them and DM them, you'll be entered to win a chance at a free blazer. We'll move on now to the next game here. I think everyone is in agreement on this one. Niners on the road against the Redskins.
I think it's pretty obvious. I think San Fran is arguably the best team in the NFC right now, and Washington is 0-3 at home, so I am definitely going with the 49ers 34-10 in this game.
No trap game here. The Redskins, they could barely beat the Dolphins. Yeah, not great. Speaking of not great, that's been the Cowboys for the past 3 weeks. Now they have a chance to get things back on track at home against the Eagles in a game that will award one team the lead in the NFC East. The Cowboys are the favorites, Mick. Do you think they're going to get back on track?
I absolutely do.
Okay, there we go.
I absolutely do. This is, the number one spot in the NFC East is up for grabs here, so I think this is going to be a pretty heated meeting of these two rivals. So definitely 21-17 is what I'm going with.
A lower scoring game. We'll get to my prediction later on in the show, so stay tuned for that. But first, hey guys, did you follow and DM Kashiyama on Instagram? If you did, type me in the comments section. If they didn't, Mick, why don't you tell them why they should?
Absolutely. So we are a custom made-to-measure men's suiting company. So this is not an off-the-rack situation. This is going to be made specifically for you. And then who doesn't like free on top of that? So I do keep all measurements on file because when you get that blazer and you love it, we can get you fitted for the full suit.
All right, I see some of those me's coming in the comment section. Keep them coming here on the Cowboys Report. Now we're going to get back to some injury notes. Injuries here around the receivers. We mentioned Randall Cobb. I don't know if he's going to be able to go. Unfortunately, this has kind of been Cobb's MO in recent years. He's just always hurt. Dorance Armstrong left last week with a neck injury, did not return, but he's been limited through 2 practices. I think he'll be able to go. The cornerbacks, though, not as confident here. Byron Jones, Anthony Brown, both dealing with hamstring injuries. They did not practice on Wednesday. I do not believe they practiced on Thursday either. That leaves potentially the Cowboys thin at the cornerback position. Now, they already have only 4 safeties. They're thin right now in the defensive backfield. Now, maybe you see a scenario where Byron Jones is able to play. That seems to be the most likely outcome, that Byron's able to go. If he's not able to go, I don't think you can enter this week with only Jourdan Lewis, Awuzie, and C.J. Goodwin. That doesn't make sense. I don't think Anthony Brown's going to be able to play. I think he might be the first one to go, but we'll see first one out and first one declared out. Byron has a better chance, but I think at least one of your top 3 corners is not going to be able to play, and you guys know what that means, right? Free Jourdan. If Anthony Brown and or Byron Jones are out because of injuries, the Cowboys are going to be forced into doing the correct thing, playing Jourdan Lewis. So give me that hashtag in there in the comments section, free Jourdan. I want to see it. Spam it in there. There's no doubt about it. Jourdan Lewis should be playing. Sean, the answer is no. I'm just gonna chime in. I'm being nice because I appreciate you watching the show. You do not move Byron Jones to safety. Terrible idea. We've tried that. He's better at corner. But keep those free Jordans going in the comments section. The injury report, meanwhile, for these last 4 players. Gallup, he's going to be fine. He's playing limited. He'll be good to go. Zach Martin did not practice Thursday. There was some brief freak out. I think this is a rest management day for Zach Martin. I'm not too worried about it. Chris Jones, limited. He should be fine. Joe Looney, because Frederick had a personal day on Wednesday, he was actually the number 1 center. And then today, Thursday, he did not practice. At this point, I've not yet gotten word on what the injury actually is for Joe Looney. Let me double check my text messages here. Oh, actually, it's a back for Joe Looney. Literally just got the message. Back for Joe Looney, I don't know. So we'll see how long he's actually able to stay out here if he misses any time for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, we mentioned Jason Garrett and his status. Is this a must-win game for Jason Garrett? Now, the Jane Slater report was, it's too early for a move, which disappointing but expected, frankly. But she did at least throw in the caveat of circle back next Monday, i.e., let's see what happens in Week 7. If the Dallas Cowboys drop 4 straight games, which I think outside of injuries at quarterback, I don't think they've done under Jason Garrett. Injuries, of course, they've done it before, but that was always because their quarterback was out. But 4 straight losses entering the bye, I think is a disaster. I don't see any way around it of, wow, we can keep Jason Garrett entering the bye. He's lost 4 in a row, and now we're a game and a half behind the Eagles in the NFC. So I do believe this is a must-win game for Jason Garrett. I don't know if they're going to fire him. I'd hope they would if they lose. But I think it does not bode well for Garrett's long-term outlook as a member of the Dallas Cowboys coaching staff. Now, the Cowboys, as we mentioned earlier, are favored in this one against the Eagles. So I want you guys to predict the score for me in the comments section. Let me know what you guys think. Cowboys versus Eagles. I'll get some shout-outs here. This is the classic Cowboys win somehow game. I got the Cowboys 27-26, a narrow game. We probably don't even like how it goes. It's probably ugly at various points. Somehow, someway, the Cowboys, after we wrote Garrett off for dead, beat the Philadelphia Eagles. Oh, by the way, didn't we do this last year? Titans game, disaster, hated it, was mad at the game. They come back next week, so beat the Eagles, win the NFC East. Maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't, but I got the Cowboys in this one. I already put my money down on BetDSI, chatsports.com/bet. The Cowboys at home are a 2.5-point favorite, which I think is in part because they are the home team. Use that promo code Cowboys120 for a 120% deposit bonus. You put down $50, they're going to give you $60 for free. So just in case we're wrong about the Cowboys this week, you're still going to have plenty of money left over. All right, one last little preview note here on the Cowboys and the Eagles. Where's Tony Pollard at? Now, Jason Garrett claimed today the Cowboys, well, we want to use Tony Pollard. He's a guy we love to get out there. He can do things in the passing game and matchup-wise. Okay, Jason, and where the hell is he? I guess this segment is brought to you by the people who said Tony Pollard, he's going to play 30 snaps a game. By the Tavon Austin will get a dozen touches per game. And Jason Witten will only play 25 snaps per game. All things that are wildly inaccurate so far and will continue to be wildly inaccurate unless something drastically changes right now. Pollard, we know, is a weapon in the passing game. We know for a fact the 2 running back personnel formation exists. Look at the snap counts. Now, yes, these were different games, 22, 16, 23. And then it plummeted, 2, 5, 7, week 4, 5, 6. Here's my biggest concern with this Cowboys offense right now. My fear, and I think it's coming true, is the Cowboys were only different and creative and used all the disguises and the different presentation because Zeke wasn't back. He wasn't at his full strength yet. And then once Zeke was at his full strength, they just leaned on him and abandoned all of the new things because, well, Zeke becomes the security blanket. But it's time to abandon that security blanket. The Cowboys have got to be more creative, and hopefully that starts this week against the Philadelphia Eagles. Hey Cowboys fans, thanks for watching the Cowboys Report. If you haven't already, click right here to subscribe to our channel for all the best Cowboys coverage on the internet. That's news, rumors, highlights, mailbags, film studies, and a whole lot more. And I'm making your lives a little bit easier as well with the next Cowboys Report video right here.